Morning in Thimphu. Buddha Dordanma still watching over the valley as our new day begins.
And breakfast is ready.
Leaving the capital behind, heading east into the mountains. Our destination is Dochula Pass, over 3,000 meters height. The Singye Wangchuk Himalayan range stretches before us, and here Dochula Druk Wangyel Langhang, home to the 108 Stupas of Great Victory. So today we're stopping at the 108 Stupas of Great Victory, and it's a festival also celebrated on the 13th of December. These 108 stupas weren't built for peace, they were built after war. In December 2003, Bhutanese forces launched military operations against Indian insurgent groups who had established camps in the southern Bhutan. The campaign, known as Operational All Clear, successfully drove out the militants who had been using Bhutan as a base for attacks on India. Bhutan lost soldiers in the operation, and the eldest Queen Mother, Ashi Dorji Wangmo Wangchuk, commissioned these 108 chortens in 2004 to honor the fallen and celebrate victory. The number 108 is sacred in Buddhism, representing the 108 defilements one must overcome to reach enlightenment. Here, each stupa is a prayer for peace, built on the site where the nation proved it would defend itself. The stupas rise in concentric circles, 45 on the first level, 36 on the second, 27 at the top, all surrounding the main chorten. Inside each one, Buddha effigies and sacred text, mandala visible from the sky. Each of the 108 chortens is identical in design, yet walking among them, each feels different. Here, war becomes peace. Sacrifice becomes devotion, and the 108 white stupas remind you that even a nation that values happiness above all else must sometimes defend it. Time to hike. Trail section 21 and 22, Dochula to Umetsava. During COVID, more than 900 furloughed workers helped restore this ancient trail, rebuilding 18 bridges and more than 1,000 steps. For centuries, this was the only way to travel across Bhutan, used by pilgrims, messengers, armies, and traders. So, we are here, hiking the Trans-Bhutan Trail. Because we're out here.
Yeah.
Check this out. Into the cloud forest now. Rhododendrons of different colors, red, pink, purple, and white. Moss hangs from each branch like nature prayer flags. The air is thick, almost tangible. That's right. Gangkhar Puensum, at 7,570 meters, appears to be the highest unclimbed mountain in the world. Right here, folks, what you're seeing is the tallest unclimbed mountain. And it will probably remain that way because it's not allowed to climb mountains in Bhutan. In 1994, Bhutan banned climbing peaks over 6,000 meters, and by 2003, all mountaineering was prohibited. Why? Out of respect for the strong spiritual value local communities attach to the mountains? Well, in the Bhutanese heart, sacred mountains are inhabited by gods and cannot be disturbed by humans. Gangkhar Puensum means white peak of the three spiritual brothers. Like Mount Everest has become polluted for mountaineering activities, Bhutan's ban actually did the environment a great favor. As our descent continues, Radgran plants possible wild ginger or mountain flora thriving at this altitude. And above the canopy now, watching our group tread through the forest like pilgrims on this ancient path. One foot in front of the other. This is how Bhutan moved for centuries on foot, through forest, over mountains, connecting village to village, dzong to dzong. The forest breathes around us, fungi clinging to ancient trunks, grasshoppers or birds singing in their mountain songs.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is carcass in Indica.
Indica.
And it comes from this tree. It's edible and it has a white belly.
Are they?
Breaking through the tree line, the valley opens below, terrace fields, scattered houses. With a small village in view now, the Child Development Center is closed, so I slid a box of pencils under the fence, a small offering from a traveler passing through. In Bhutan, education is free and compulsory. Even in remote villages like this, children have access to education. There it is. You see it? There it is. I really tried to record the spider web glittering in the afternoon light, but here you can see a garden of full yellow flowers that didn't take much focus. So what about those yellow flowers? Well, they're most likely mustard plants, a staple crop in Bhutan, grown for both greens and oil. Back to the road briefly. Memchuna Dining, another restaurant with protective paluses above the door to ward off evil spirits. And yes, even here, Coca-Cola has found its way into the mountain. And then the moment hikers dread. One misstep on wet leaves. The fall happens fast. My calf screams, but I jump up quickly, trying to shake it off. Usually it's so much better to do video when you go downhill because it really shows where you are. When you go uphill, it doesn't show, right? Oh, this is so cool.
I know that these days have been messing with you like a countless straight out man girl.
Listen to this.
And I know the right times when you're feeling surrounded, but I think you should know by now. From the golden domes of Bulgaria, I've been cold Himalaya, I'll be following you for the ride. From the blinded forget where we come from. We can't see much beyond our nose. And I know there'll come a time we will leave it all behind. And I sure we are getting close. And from the golden domes of Bulgaria, of the cold Himalaya, I'll be following you for the ride. And from the blinding lights of Chicago to the streets of Santiago, I will always be there by your side. 'Cause you know that there is a blue sky hiding right behind those whispers. Tell me
The knee feel off, but we keep moving.
the golden domes of Bulgaria, of the cold Himalaya, I'll be following you for the ride. And from the blinding lights of Chicago to the streets of Santiago, I will always be there by your side. From the
By the late afternoon, we reached our hotel for the night.
after cold Himalaya, I'll be following you for the ride. From the lights of Chicago to the streets of Santiago, I will always be there by your side.
The valley stretched below. Farmers worked in their fields, probably rice paddies, tending to their crop in way their generations did before. So here is our room for tonight. Okay, I need two hands. No, I don't need two hands. Maybe I need two hands. I need two hands. So I tried that for two hands, but that's why they have help. So let's push the button. Help is arriving. Look at that. Whoa. Not expected. Whoa. And right here we have some vegetable soup. What is it? Yeah, come. Come. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. You are. So these are traditional Bhutanese boots on display, beautifully embroidered, worn during festivals and ceremonies. You will see these in actions later. So here's my bag. There's everybody else's. And we are just waiting to hit the trails. And look at this. Look how cool this is. They store religious articles in this.
Okay guys, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm hiking point. It hardly takes like 2 hours drive, okay? And then from there, so the elevation will be almost like 3,250 meters. So we are descending down to like 2,600 meters. So the ascent will be just like 70 meters and descent will be 730 meters downwards.
So we're ascending from 2,600 meters, that's about 8,530 feet, up to 3,250 meters, or 10,663 feet. Then descending 730 meters down, that's 2,359 feet in elevation loss. My knee is already
On the left side you
protesting.
can see one fortress. This one is Wangphel Fortress. So it was a part fortress established by our 16th century master in like 1638. But unfortunately in like 2012, so this particular fortress caught fire and it was completely burned down. again under the command of our present king. So it was again reconstructed, and it was completed in 2022, coinciding with our like a fifth king's birthday. So it was been inaugurated again. So this one is a new fortress.
We're climbing now away from the river up into the mountains. Cows pass on the narrow road. They must have the right of way here. There's a road construction, one of many in this terrain. A stupa marks the route and blessings to travelers who pass. A quick rest stop, the road winds impossibly tight, switchbacks carved into the mountainside with the valley dropping away on one side and cliff faces towering on the other. And some more landside debris. But look, waterfalls cascading down the cliffs, fed by the glacier melt and the mountain spring. Nature here is both beautiful and relentless. Higher and higher, the landscape transforms as we climb. Alpine meadows, coniferous forest, prayer flags strung across vines. Each turn reveals another waterfall, another valley, another glimpse of how vast and untamed this kingdom really is. A small village clings to the mountainside. People live here year-round, farming impossible slopes, raising yaks, surviving winters that would break most people. And the trees keep changing as we climb. Rhododendrons and pine give way to high-altitude species. Road crews work tirelessly, cleaning landslides that come with every monsoon. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? Lichen and moss drape from branches. Kinda sign of pristine air quality. 3,323 meters. That's 10,902 feet. The air is definitely thinner here. The group heads out for another section of the trail. My niece says no. I stay with the driver, riding down to the meeting point instead. Sometimes wisdom means knowing when to rest. So we're at Rukubji Primary School to drop off a soccer ball and some pencils. The principal for the school, for about 300 students, invited us in for milk and cookies. The conversation we had or save for another episode. And then waiting by the river for the group to return. A cow wanders over as if she knew that soon she will be happily munching on our discarded banana peels. Nothing goes to waste here. Our lunch at Norbu Yangphel Restaurant.
Okay, enjoy, guys.
So for now, we got
I'm also
potatoes,
going down
rice,
to have
and
some. What is this? Cabbage? Cabbage.
so we are here at Chendebji, and then yeah, Chendebji choten, modeled after Bundanat Supa that you can see in my Kathmandu video, with eyes painted on all four sides. Built in the 18th century, but here's the legend. This choten was built to subdue Nagla Duem, the dreaded demoness who terrorized travelers in this area. According to the legend, it was constructed where the head of a powerful demon was buried after being subdued. The demoness, once force of evil, transformed into a protective spirit through Buddhist rituals. And today, monks gather for annual prayers. From 2009, prayers called Sampal Hendrum Moenlam, hope I said that right, are conducted here each year on the 9th month of the Bhutanese calendar. So the demon's buried under that rock, and it's now changed into a protective deity. And over there is the food offering. On the descending day of Lord Buddha, food offerings from the protective deity, children running collecting items, mass performance, tradition, charm dances, meant to dispel the negative forces. On our descent, the guide shared some of the old stories.
So it is believed that the local demon reside over this place. She took it as a palace. So that trees and the rest of the trees are totally different. In the central part. So there is having a legend with our fastest messenger. So who usually carries a message of our leaders from Trongsa district to Wangyel when there is no access of a road. So he usually do it in one day, going to Wangyel and then coming back. So since he was daily tasked to send a message, get a message from the leaders, and then he have to drop the message to Trongsa Dzong. So when he reached over there, so he thought of why I have to do the jobs every in one day. So after reaching over there, so he thought this type of notion. So because of his bad notion, so the Naladim was transformed into one of the beautiful wife or a woman just washing the intestine of an ox, because that ox animal is a birth animal of that fastest messengers. So after reaching over there, so he encountered with the demon and asked, "What you are doing?" "I'm just washing an intestine of an ox." So then he just left that demon behind, and then after reaching to Trongsa and give the message which has been passed from Wangyel, right? And then after reaching to his home, he was passed away. So that's why when we reach over that point, so we usually believe that you should not be thinking on bad things or bad notions.
These mountains hold centuries of legends, messengers racing between zongs, demons subdued, protective deities born from darkness. Yes, this is how Bhutan remembers. through story, through rituals, through the landscape itself. The sun kept dipping lower. Kids walking home from school, tiny figures on mountain paths, and the trees transition back to pine as we descend. Altitude changes everything here. Climate, vegetation, even time seems to move differently at different elevations. The hydropower constitutes around 20% of Bhutan's economy and provides over 40% of national revenue. Almost all hydroelectric plants generate power through runoff river hydroelectricity, meaning they don't require massive reservoir dams that flood valleys.
So in a town in the riverside, you can see the hydro dam.
The dam he was pointing to, one of many, is Bhutan's most installed hydropower capacities stand at around 1,600 megawatts, or its estimated potential of 30,000 megawatts. About 70% of this power is exported to India after meeting domestic consumption. One more powerful waterfall. This one, it's pretty cool because it's right next to a restaurant. We only stop long enough for some photos and then we keep going towards our hotel. And we have reached another hotel for the night. And here, Pan Masala, a mixture of areca nut, kachou, lime, and spices, sometimes with tobacco added. I actually enjoyed the taste. Good thing I didn't get addicted to it. However, in Bhutan, it's called dom, and about 45% of the Bhutanese people chew this. Our room for the night, and in the distance, 3 miles away, the Dzong we will visit tomorrow.